Are you gonna school me on that or?
That's when words start with the same letter.
Okay. All right. Well, still, guys, is hot ham water a thing? Who says hot ham water is a thing? This guy does.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before today.
Sometimes you don't want to swear, so you're just like, hot ham water.
I never don't want to swear.
Or you're real excited, like, we're going to the Mall of America.
That would not excite me at all. I'd be so pissed.
I don't know. The Lego store. You don't want to go to Lego. And a pretzel, the Wetzel pretzel or whatever.
That I could live
Auntie Annie's pretzel.
That shit's good.
Yeah. And you can, what else is at the mall? They probably have a GameStop. And Nick says it's gross. The ham water or the Mall of America? I don't know.
Probably both, man. You probably smell like ham water after you come out of the Mall of America.
Maybe. If you eat enough ham. Yeah, you can get a Cinnabon.
Okay. Anyways, moving on. Bruce, please stay on subject.
I know. I digress to impress.
Yeah, okay. So they did that emergency hearing thing today in Mike's case. And basically they're going to have the hearing on the 10th. So it's like a week from tomorrow. I know Steve went. And Steve, thanks for going to do that. And he's going to come talk to us this weekend and also again next week. So Steve's a cool guy. Also, Dave, not Dave Neal, other Dave, whose last name I do not know, was also there, also went out there. So that's cool, Dave. Thanks.
What? Jingy?
Yeah. No?
Or different Dave?
Not your Dave.
What about
different Dave?
DSG?
No, that's David. Remember, there's a difference between Davids and Daves?
I know.
Didn't we just learn that yesterday?
I know. I was just trying to disambiguate. There's sure a lot of Daves around.
Yeah.
Well, I like it.
I like most of them. Or like that. Anyways, he, after the hearing, made a little update to his blog, like celebrating some kind of pretend victory, which is hilarious. But we're going to read his motion first, which is actually like a terrible thing. I've never read anything this disgusting. But does my volume sound funny? Why does it sound funny? I can fix it if you tell me. I don't know, Bruce, can you tell?
You sound okay to me, but I'm not watching the stream, so...
I don't know. Maybe I was far away.
Mic check, mic check.
I could start screaming and see if that helps.
You could.
Why do you kind of look like you want to...
This is so inappropriate.
What is?
Oh, that's just... Never mind.
I don't think I want to know where your brain went.
I'm just quoting.
I'm reporting you to the county. You got my arm preggers by grabbing it so hard. Oh, thank you, fake Laura Owens. I think that
that's where
that only happens during business hours. So if it was before 7 a.m., you're not pregnant. So it's all good.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what I heard anyways. Okay. Well, other people think it sounds good. It sounds like in a hallway. Okay. What is up with y'all? You guys gonna make up your mind about my... What if I switch it? How about that? Is that better?
Ooh, that sounds real good. What'd you do?
Hey. I just switched the mic. I accidentally had my webcam mic on.
Oh, that sounds amazing now.
All right. You're getting a little too excited. Please stop.
Well, I got the pro headphones on. I can hear the nuance.
I'll keep that in mind when I have to burp.
Yeah. Studio quality. Burping.
All right. Yeah. Let me pull this up real quick. So anyways, this is his motion, which court never put it out there. So we never got it from the court. He published it on his blog because he says that since Omar shared his, he guess he'll go ahead and share his. And the first thing I thought was Omar didn't share his. Steve went to the courthouse and paid the fee and got it. So you're still kind of a dumbass. But also, at least this was free because it wouldn't have been worth the paper it was printed on if Steve had to purchase it.
So is this one on the docket yet, or
no? This is the motion that he wrote, which we saw the declaration that he wrote in support of. We didn't actually see the motion, and he was going on and on about how the motion tells more to the story, and I was like, it gets worse for you. It gets way worse for you, dude. I don't know why you thought that was going to be helpful. This is bad.
Oh dear.
Very bad.
I'll be the judge of that.
I think you're gonna agree. Have you seen any of this?
No.
Oh, boy.
I like to read things from the docket, so when people get them, then I read them. I don't click the links. So if he makes links, I don't click them.
I'm a
Because
glutton for
I
punishment.
don't want side channel
On food.
documents. I want to read.
Yeah, see, I don't give a
Yeah.
shit. So,
Oh, that's fair. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just saying I won't click it, you know.
I mean, if I can get that without anyone having to pay for it, it's great.
Mhm.
What is happening right here? Hang on. I have an emergency. Can you talk for 45 seconds? Thanks.
Oh, of course. Let's see, guys, what's going on? You know, the other day I went to. Oh, I don't have any stand-up material ready to go. What are you guys doing in the comments section? Let's check it out. Shocking, another dingus manipulation. We will see. We'll see. Unhinged attorney. Oh my gosh. Man, David Gingras, I don't think the public opinion is on your side. I don't know what you could do about that, but Nick O'Brien says side tone. I love side tone. If you have an audio interface or a USB driver that lets you do, that's where you can hear your own voice through your own headphones. I like that. That's good. Let's see what else is going on. Hit the like button. Christine says, darn it, Bruce. I mean, what can I do? Save the pace for fun if you can. Yeah. Kelly says, Sarah Dawn filing motion to compel next week. What are we compelling? Lunch? You know, everybody's got to eat lunch, but sometimes you just don't want to eat lunch with a certain someone, like an internet lawyer or I don't know. Let's see. What do we got? This really is Mod Chat. Bruce, where is your new studio? So I am currently in Wisconsin. I'm going to make a video explaining why I am in this room and not in a van. And that will happen very soon.
I'm sorry to ruin the timing here. Fake Laura Owens, thank you for the $5. Says, hi, Bruce. Now that we're alone and Lauren is gone, do you want to come over and Netflix and Tony Robbins? I feel like I really just walked in at the wrong time. You know what I mean? Sorry, my mom left me a long voice note, so I had to.
Oh my goodness.
She doesn't usually leave voice notes unless I'm supposed to listen to it right away because I've done something. So, you know, but no, we're good. Okay.
Well, you know, you got to get in line because I'm supposed to Netflix and chill with Sarah Dawn first. So,
did you mean Tony Robbins and anal, or?
I don't know if I want to go that far, but
so then there's not actually a line for Tony Robbins and anal, is what you're saying.
Be gentle with me,
so
Lauren.
You're free, is what you're saying. That's
I mean, moose.
Ew, ew, you're sick. All right. Anyways, let me actually do this first. So this was his little blog update after the hearing today, which is stupid. And you guys know that I have to, anytime I read his blog on the stream, I have to copy and paste it from his website so I can space it out so he doesn't copyright like a still image of this fucking blog, as if anyone cares about it. So, you know, David, who has rotten vegetables for brains, thinks that he got some sort of win today. It says post-hearing update. Today's Zoom hearing lasted all of 45 seconds. That's longer than you usually make it, man. I bet. The clerk came on and told us the judge ruled on the papers. Bottom line is Omar wanted the court to rule on everything today. That's actually not what he asked for. That was pretty aggressive. You want to talk about aggression? Because he wanted the court to rule on 2 motions, which hadn't even been briefed yet. In his papers, he told the judge that one motion, his request to disqualify me, was expected to be unopposed, which is 100% false. Why would it not be unopposed? You should not be involving yourself in this case.
Okay. Also, you know, if I say I expect to go to lunch tomorrow and then I don't, it doesn't mean I'm a liar. It just means my expectation was incorrect. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not like, I don't know. He's like, it's 100% false. Like, I don't know. Like, all you have to do is say, I'm filing opposition to this motion. Like, it's just a really, what's the word? It's an inflammatory way to respond or to present information.
Well, I mean, David's brain is always buffering, so he has to find something to fill the silence. And I guess that's what happens.
It's inflamed. He needs some Tylenol. Anyway.
Okay. Anyways, he also said that no further briefing was required to resolve anything. Also 100% false. What do we think when David says 100% anything? He's going to lose. Bottom line, Omar lost. Omar lost. He's like jizzing his pants over there. I swear to God, the judge didn't do what he asked, didn't rule on the pleadings, and won't be ruling without giving me a chance to finish the briefing. Yeah, so they're probably doing that so that you don't whine a little bit about some due process bullshit later. So we have to give you a fair chance to look like a loser. I don't really know why this is a flex. It's not.
Wait, aren't the briefs filed by the lawyers in the case?
Sure.
So if Gingras isn't a lawyer on the case, he's not going to be filing briefings. He's going to be filing these papers as a intervener, or what was the other? Somebody told me what it was this morning, and I've already forgotten. And he's an interventionist, right? And he's just filing papers. He's not filing a brief. So if Omar says, I don't need to file any more briefs, then from Omar's perspective, he's correct, right? Because who's going to file an oppositional brief or some other brief?
Sure.
I mean, Laura would have to get a new lawyer. It wouldn't be from Gingras. So how can Gingras say this is 100% false? It doesn't make sense to me because he's not the lawyer for the petitioner in this case.
Well, we're talking about someone with the critical thinking skills of a houseplant.
I mean, somebody in chat or a lawyer can correct me, but it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, instead, we're talking to Judge Gold on October 10th. Before then, I get time to file 2 more things: a brief opposing his motion to DQ and a reply in support of my request for sanctions.
Oh boy.
Terrible,
so
by the way.
He is saying he's filing briefs. I don't know. Maybe it's just semantics.
I don't know. Brief could be referring to his term of relevance. I'm not really sure.
Or his underwear.
No, I'm pretty sure he wears... Never mind. I don't need to go there. Then I realized I would have to think about the thing that I was about to say, and I don't want to picture that. So yeah, basically...
Tidy whities.
Yeah. Thank you, Bruce. You're a great friend.
I do what I can.
Dick.
Oh boy. Apple Festival.
No. Speaking of dick, no.
Mealy apples. No, the apples will be good this weekend.
Did you see mealy apples?
Yeah. That's an Omar thing, right?
David is a mealy cunt.
Oh.
That is an Omar thing. But Omar didn't ask me to say that. For the record, I actually hate the word mealy, and that's why he says it so much.
Yeah.
So I'll say it at the behest of no one but me. David, this is my 100% independent personal opinion. You are a mealy cunt. So, all right. So yeah, basically a complete loss for Omar, which is hardly surprising. Like I said, if you're smart, don't yell fire when there is no fire. Judges don't like people clowning. Judges don't like people clowning, says the guy who filed a motion to compel lunch and wrote, "Look at me, daddy," when talking about the judge.
This blog feels like clowning. I don't know.
It is.
Oh boy. The apples will be good. I have an Erickson's hat somewhere in my closet right now. Anyway.
One final thing since Omar... yeah, I know. One final thing since Omar will probably tell people I looked drunk or disheveled in court today. Here's a selfie I took while waiting for the Zoom to start. Recording court hearings is illegal, so no, this isn't from the Zoom. It's just a selfie. And I took the picture out, but just from my description of it, which you'll have to take if you don't want to read David's blog. If you want to, that's your choice. I'm not going to direct you on what or what not to do. But my opinion was that he looked a little high, if you look at his eyeballs real close. So that's just me. But here's the thing about this. So Omar asked for the judge to shorten the time. He wanted for this to be presented before October 21st. They're going to be heard on October 10th. So he got what he asked for. He didn't lose shit. Okay, the closest thing that David Gingras could get to winning anything in court these days is he didn't lose anything, I guess, even though neither did the other side. So it was nothing. This means nothing. He lost nothing. David won nothing. This is a bunch of psychobabble bullshit.
Let me see if I understand. Omar said, hey, I don't have any more briefings to file. I expect my other motion to be unopposed because Laura doesn't have any counsel at the moment. Therefore, hey, judge, if you want to rule on everything right now, go ahead and rule on everything right now. Let's get this shit done with so we can get on with our lives. And the judge was like, well, just so Gingras doesn't lose his mind, we're just going to keep going on this regular schedule. if people want to file papers at these certain dates, right? I think there's 2 different dates. There's a filing date and a response date, and then this 10th date. We'll stay on the schedule. And the judge said, instead of just doing everything now, we're going to stay on the schedule. So to me, it's not a big deal because Omar's just saying, hey, if you want to do something, you can do it. I'm okay with it. And the judge is like, no, it's not a problem. We're going to keep the regular schedule. Is that what happened here?
So normally they would have had to have this presented on the day, the first day of the trial, like at the beginning.
Mhm.
So like on the 21st.
Mhm.
Omar was asking that this issue be addressed before that.
Okay.
So that's why he filed the emergency motion. He's saying basically this has to be resolved before we go to trial. Otherwise, it's going to prejudice my client for XYZ reasons.
Mhm.
And so they today decided that when the judge who's actually assigned to their case, I guess, is presiding next Friday, that's when this will be heard. So he does get it, you know, over a week earlier, which is what he asked for. So he got what he asked for. There was no loss for Omar here. David's just a mealy cunt.
Oh, so they're going to figure it out on the 10th instead of today.
Right.
And then the actual trial starts when? The 22nd?
21, I think.
21st? Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is just normal, you know, process management.
Mm-hmm.
Business. I don't know. Why is he writing a blog about it? It's crazy.
Oh, he has nothing else to do today. So anyways, before we get to like the rest of his bullshit there, which a lot of it we'll skip later, but we'll read over this motion which he posted, which was, this was what he wrote a declaration in support of before. We read the declaration. It was bizarre, but we never actually saw the motion until he decided to publish it today. So remember, Omar had filed a motion to disqualify. I guess David in return filed a notice of motion and motion to intervene, strike for sanctions, and for disciplinary referral to the state bar. So David loves Omar so much, he wants them to go to the bar together. We'll see if that works out. Okay.
What? Go to the bar together?
Yeah, I mean, David loves to go to the bar.
Like a date?
Precisely like a date, Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for catching up.
I'm getting there.
It's all that ham water.
I want to make sure I understand what's going on.
No, it's all good. Okay.
I feel like it's easier for me to understand Omar's filings than it is for me to understand Gingras' filings.
Dude, I don't know. The whole thing is stupid as hell.
Do you know what I mean?
All right. Okay, intervener, which would be David. And the court, again, like I said, this has never been posted on the court website or anything like that. Intervener, or the docket. Intervener seeks the following relief against Mr. Serrato. An order imposing sanctions and fees on Mr. Serrato. Are you that broke, David? God, I guess so. He withdrew from his Florida case. Laura's not paying him. Well, in money anyways. So I don't really know. I guess he is this broke. On his making knowingly false statements to the court and for pursuing bad faith tactics that were frivolous and solely intended to harass in violation of CCP section 128.5. I know this man isn't talking about harassment. Brother, you got to get a grip. Like, oh my God. An order striking the motion to disqualify. Okay. Finding Mr. Serrato's conduct in this matter has violated the following rules of professional conduct. It didn't, so I'm going to skip that. An order referring Mr. Serrato to the State Bar of California for investigation and discipline as appropriate. Any such further relief as the court deems proper. Okay. And so I should point out to you guys really quick, and I'll move this off the screen while I do, because we're going to have to take breaks and explain things and talk about them. I have permission to share this. I'm not going to share the name of the person because they didn't technically, they haven't responded to my message yet, whether or not they want me to leave their name out of it, so I'm not going to say it. But somebody else who has been recently harassed by this man, in my opinion, it was harassment, got some emails from him in which he started to threaten YouTubers with copyright lawsuits for reading his court filings, even with fair use commentary on YouTube. So this guy's like out of his mind. So we're going to have to pause every now and then, make sure we're talking enough, I guess. Julia says, I'm so confused. Isn't he married? God help that man's wife. I think she got away from him. I'm not sure. But yeah. So speaking of harassment, that's been going on for a little bit. But that was somebody who he recently
I thought this
harassed
guy
with a copyright strike.
was a big proponent of people looking at both sides.
Right.
If he doesn't
he's,
want people going through his filings, then that's not both sides, is it?
and that's, we're going to get into that very shortly here, because he, freaks out when people read Omar's thoughts and filings or whatever. And then when we read his, he also gets upset and he's like, I'm going to copyright strike you. So it's like, there's no winning with this guy. He's just using his law license to abuse people that he doesn't like, people who speak unfavorably of him online, people that he doesn't agree with. So, All right. Okay.
Wild.
The introduction starts out very strong if you're a little bitch. In his motion to disqualify, respondent's counsel, Omar Serrato, lied to this court. Is that because he spelled Mike's last name wrong? Just asking. Sorry, bro. Specifically in his motion, Mr. Serrato falsely avowed that, one, undersigned counsel continues to represent petitioner Laura Owens in this case. He was very straightforward about what happened and how you were kind of flip-flopped and why they would need to disqualify you to avoid future conflict, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, continues to represent is very different than not representing now.
Yeah, that's
theoretically
not what he said.
Could in the future, right?
And
Which
and
is
you know
also
that he
different from not representing now and will not in the future. These are all three different things.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. Absolutely nuts. Okay, that undersigned counsel has a current personal conflict of interest that materially limits his ability to represent petitioner. You do. And three, that allowing Mr. Gingras. Go ahead.
That's weird, because how can you say somebody sort of lied about that? Because you'd have to sort of prove they knew that was incorrect. And if it's your opinion that they have a conflict of interest, like that's not a lie. That's just an opinion that you can argue.
Well, Bruce, who are you going to believe? A respectable attorney like Omar or Rachel Juarez, or are you going to believe David?
The correct process is to counter-argue by trying to explain why you don't have a conflict of interest, not just punish someone for having an opinion.
I'm sure he's going to do that effectively here.
Okay.
Bruce.
I'll wait for it then. I'm waiting for it.
Hold your breath, bro.
I'll wait until after 7 a.m. for it. How about that?
Okay. Okay, and three, that allowing Mr. Gingras to continue as counsel will prejudice respondents' rights and undermine the integrity of these proceedings. Mr. Serrato's representations are all lies. His statements are knowingly false. Mr. Serrato knew his statements were false at the time they were made for one simple reason. Days before his motion was filed, he was told repeatedly, both by phone and in writing, that undersigned counsel no longer represented Ms. Owens in this matter. Okay. The details of that issue are explained in the declaration of counsel submitted herewith. The thing is, like, that is not exactly the issue here, buddy. The thing is that you keep flip-flopping and you are increasingly erratic, unpredictable, aggressive. So you could change your mind at any time. That is a problem, especially if you're conferring with opposing counsel and you sound like a raving lunatic, which is what I gathered from what we read yesterday. So.
Yeah, I mean, no longer doesn't, that just means like the current point in time. It doesn't talk about a time in the future. Like you could say, I'm no longer pregnant, but that doesn't mean you couldn't be pregnant. Oh God, not that one. You couldn't be pregnant again in the future, right? So it's a matter of what are the bounds logically on your time windows, right?
Yeah. I mean, logic, I don't feel like plays a lot of role in David's, line of thinking, but here we are, so.
And he had this underlined thing, right? Mr. Serrato's representations are all lies. Like all of his representations?
All lies!
What does he mean? Does he mean just the things he enumerated above? Or
he has betrayed the house of brotherhood that I tried to build.
It's just, I don't...
Sorry, bro.
No, you're correct. It's just very, oh boy.
Oh, God. Okay. Why on earth? Well, that's not the planet you're living on, man. So I don't know. Why on earth would any lawyer lie so blatantly to a court under these circumstances? There appear to be two primary reasons. First, Mr. Serrato has some sort of bizarre personal obsession with and hatred for the undersigned.
I mean, what is this? There appear to be 2 reasons. Like there appear to be. Like could there appear to be 3 reasons, and one of them is Bigfoot? Like this
Bless
is
your
just
empty
so.
little head, you fucking clown. This
Like,
is
can we?
ridiculous.
Can
This
we
is like a
prove?
wish list.
I know. Can we just prove that? Can we say statements of fact instead of saying there appears to be? I mean, there appear to be UFOs. Is that why Omar's doing what he's doing? I don't. This is ridiculous.
I don't know, man. I would try to understand this guy's thoughts, but every time I try to take notes, I realize I left my crayons at home, so I can't. Hang on.
Crayons.
Ew.
You ever
Actually,
get a new box of crayons and open it up and smell it? It smells like crayons.
not since I was in like the 2nd grade, but I always wanted to eat the macaroni colored crayon.
Wait,
I didn't.
There's a macaroni colored crayon?
There used to be. I don't know if there is now.
What?
So,
I think I had the box with like 8 colors or something, because you're talking about.
Bruce, David is writing about really important matters of national importance here, and we're talking about macaroni crayons.
Yeah.
Go on.
That's why our video is so good compared to somebody that just reads the filing and doesn't add commentary.
Yeah.
That's why fair use is so important to the future of America.
Toadette says, I'm curious what Patrick thinks of this. I heard what you said, yes. And I wonder what Patrick thinks of this. Patrick has family in town right now, so he's going to come back and talk to us on Monday. But he's going to be busy all weekend, so unfortunately. But I did talk to him earlier today on the phone, so he's doing all right.
These people out there living life. What the heck?
So sick.
Right.
Guys, I hope nothing happens tomorrow because I'm going to be busy going to the Taylor Swift thing in the theater. So
what?
Are you going, Bruce?
What is there? There's a thing?
She has like an album release thing, and it's happening in the theater.
Oh, this is the one she talked about on the Kelsey Brothers podcast.
Oh, you watched it too, huh?
Well, no, Dave Neal covered it on his show. I saw clips.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hot ham water, Bruce.
I get all my news from.
It's hot ham water. I know you watched it. Okay.
Oh boy.
Calm down, please. All right. Why on earth would any lawyer lie so blatantly to the court under these circumstances? We went through that. Indeed, over the last 12 plus months, Mr. Serrato has posted multiple YouTube videos on YouTube falsely smearing, defaming, and attacking undersigned counsel. Wow. One such video contains an image that depicts Mr. Serrato physically assaulting / choking undersigned counsel. God, this is giving Blake saying she was sexually harassed because some dude made eye contact with her. Like, what is wrong with you, bro? With a caption that arrogantly and menacingly boasts, Gingras doesn't want to smoke.
It's just so absurd. Like, Gingras doesn't want to smoke. Like, look, the aspect ratio on the font is kind of squeezed. Like, it's just such a cheesy thumbnail. Like, how does he take it seriously? It's like...
God fucking knows, eh?
Dominic probably made this thumbnail in like 5 minutes, like in Photoshop.
I don't know if Dominic... actually, you know what? You're right, because it was a while ago, so it probably was Dominic.
That's what I'm saying. Also,
you're gonna have to go back and like depose Dominic.
Yeah, I know. Well, here's the problem. Here's the bigger problem. It's not even Omar's body. Like that shoulder and chest, like those pecs or what, like it's all glistening, right? Like it's got to be like WWE. That's not even Omar's body. So he's actually wrong when he says.
I've actually seen Omar a number of times in person now, and that is his body. Bruce.
No, I don't think so. It's Photoshop.
It's exactly what he looks like if you go to him in person.
Omar. It depicts Omar's head on somebody else's body.
No, that's not Omar's head, but it is his body.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Whose head is it then?
I thought it was yours.
No, it's not me. Oh.
No.
I don't want to be in the filing here. That's no good.
Oh, you're already in it.
Oh.
With me.
And I'm in trouble.
I thought I showed you that earlier. Anyways,
I'm in danger.
Oh, we're both in this one, buddy. I mean, we made it to Laura's, so why not just stretch it further and make it into David's, I guess.
Yeah, why not?
I wish people would just leave me the fuck alone, honestly. I'm sitting here spouting off my opinion online like everyone has the right to do, but if you guys want to use my picture to spice up your shit a little bit, I guess I can't help it if I'm so fucking special, all right? Okay. One such video
is he wearing headphones too?
Yeah, he is.
Omar, like, why he's wrestling with headphones on? It's
All right,
just
so here's
so absurd.
the image
It's absurd.
here's the thing with this image, right? He had to kind of get creative with the thumbnails, or Dominic basically had to get creative with the thumbnails because Dominic was doing that kind of work at this time. Because David will try to copyright strike and sue you for using a regular photo of him. Exhibit A, Loud Little Ducky, who's in the chat here right now, talking to us, because he recently copyright struck her video for using a generally pretty good photo of him from that he posted online, and it was a good photo. It wasn't making fun of him. It was just his picture, and he copyright struck her for that and freaked out. He freaked the fuck out. So you have to get creative with this. So what do you do at that point? Okay, his whole thing when he entered this was, I'm the Conor McGregor of litigation. Okay, so they look at that and they're like, okay, what can we do with this to be creative? Because we can't just use this guy's photo or he's going to try to sue us for bullshit. So you do something else, right?
Oh my gosh.
So this is not that big of a deal. It's this is a sport, not a violent street fight. It's a sport, okay? And a sport that you identified yourself with when you came onto the scene of this case. So far.
Yeah, I mean, Conor McGregor, I guess it's a professional, or at least he gets paid.
That's a professional,
It's not like Conor McGregor's famous because he goes around doing crime or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jesus. This guy's such a mess, dude. Okay, here's where it gets really stupid. We haven't even gotten to that part yet. Mr. Serrato has also made similar threatening statements, really, publicly disparaging and attacking Miss Owens in the context of discussing her actions in this case. In those public comments, Mr. Serrato again used the same gang violence-inspired threat to Miss Owens, accusing her of fraud in this case and suggesting that she is once all the smoke.
She is once all the smoke. This is gang violence inspired.
So let's actually read through this paragraph before we comment. If the court is not familiar with the term, and hopefully it is not, asking a person if they want smoke is used as a threat of physical violence, as confirmed by the image of Mr. Serrato locking undersigned counsel in a chokehold. The term carries an implied reference to gun violence, i.e. gun smoke. He's saying that Omar threatened him with gun violence. That is a blatant lie.
I thought it was about cigar smoke.
Will you read this definition for me right there of all the smoke, please?
Oh, from Urban Dictionary?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
That's what it looks like. Oh, it is from Urban Dictionary. All the smoke, a phrase used to start an issue or emphasize how much an individual wants conflict to occur with another person, referring to gun smoke. F them. I want all the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Until they get to the parentheses, it sounded like something somebody would do in corporate America, over Outlook email. I just want to create some conflict with the other team working on my project. So I'm going to send this
Ladies and gentlemen,
email.
I would like to direct your attention to dictionary.com.
Oh boy.
We want all the smoke.
Uh-huh.
We want all the smoke is a hip-hop phrase used by a member of a group to signal they are ready to battle. It originally referred to gun battles, but is now used of friendlier challenges.
Oh, like a rap battle. Yeah, when we first started talking about this case with
Dictionary.com, people. Come on, this is not hard. You're a fucking douchebag.
When we first started talking about this case, or when Gingras came on the case, we were making jokes about Omar, you could challenge him to a rap battle. It's not about violence. It's about a rap battle. Or a haiku.
And this isn't something that was ever brought up as... He never brought this up as disturbing in the 12 months leading up to this. Okay? 11 or 12 months. It was never a problem. Because he knows there was nothing violent about this. He knows there was nothing nefarious going on here. He knows he was never threatened. David Gingras is a fucking liar. And I stand on that.
Yeah, the Beastie Boys just want to party for your right to fight in court.
Bruce?
It's a rap
Hot
battle.
ham water.
It's a rap. That now you're using it correctly. See?
Hot ham water is the safe word, guys.
Yeah.
What is happening? Oh, God. Anyways, it's extremely obvious that this was not a violent threat. That is absolutely stupid. Some of this stuff he did, the videos that he did that's talking about Laura and David, was like in the middle of their kind of like friendly little rivalry thing where David was trying to establish a bromance. He was talking to Omar on the phone, right?
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff trying to get Omar to be his friend. And now he's trying to pretend he thought that was a violent threat. You know what I consider to be a little bit crossing the line?
Oh, tell me.
This. Take notice of the assault rifle in the background of this video, guys.
Oh, yeah.
David, by the way, you left your links up.
Because Omar's a liar. I've just finally figured that out after watching a few minutes of what he was doing yesterday. Omar, Godspeed to you, man. You're dead to me. I don't care about the trash talking. I do care about the dishonesty. And if you can't cut it in law, maybe you got a bright YouTube career ahead of you. So good for you. I'm just going to put Omar. He's dead to me.
And that's why I said what I said. That on his list. He has a fucking list. He wrote geez. Omar's dead to me on a list. That's why I said last night, and I know a lot of people think this is a controversial opinion, this guy gives school shooter vibes. He has an assault rifle in the background. He's writing Omar's name down on a list. Omar's dead to me.
That's true. The optics are very bad, actually, on that video.
And yet he wants to complain that he thinks Omar is making violent threats. Amazing. There's another one where he waves his handgun while he's talking about Judge Mata, but I'm like, it's too bad for me to show on YouTube. They will absolutely like take the video down.
You can't be doing that. I mean, I think people were telling him on Twitter that he should clip that out or get rid of it, but he left it in. Pretty wild stuff, because he was bragging about how he had I don't know. He was telling a story about how scared he was of going to the June 10th hearing, that he had a pew in his car that day or something, which I guess he never showed to Laura because she claimed in the police body cam footage that she's never seen a gun. So
I'm sure that's true.
At least he didn't brandish it in front of her, I guess.
I think he probably has brandished his gun in front of her, Bruce, but that's just my opinion.
Which one?
The small one in his pants.
Oh, okay. Oh boy.
Oh boy is right. Got a boy-sized. Never mind.
I'm in danger.
All right. In any context, Mr. Serrato's threatening words and conduct would be inappropriate. In the context of the DVRO case, it is inexcusable in the extreme. Something that he never thought to bring up before again, mind you guys, until now, when he's about to be punished. The case involves a domestic violence restraining order against respondent Michael Marraccini. This court previously found Mr. Marraccini violated that order. Okay, that was bullshit, by the way. The only thing that they were required for that to be renewed was that she felt threatened or something like that. So that was a whole bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, that's not really a violation, right?
That's not exactly what happened. He's not being truthful here.
It was extended.
Right.
It wasn't extended because there was an incident of violation that was proven. Yeah.
Fake Laura Owens, thank you for the $5. After I tell him I want some smoke, it means something totally different. He shows up at the casino soon. Oh, no. That's horrifying. Oh, God.
Spicy.
Anyways. Yeah. Ew. This case involves a DVRO. We're going to skip through this because it's bullshit. We don't really need to know all that. As a victim of this unlawful and criminal conduct, Miss Owens has come to this court asking for help a third time. Well, God, Miss Owens needs to go to a psych ward asking for help a third time. I have changed my position on that entirely. She's a fucking lunatic, and she needs to go get help before she accidentally offs herself. I don't want to see that happen. I don't want her to die. I don't want her to die. I don't want anything bad to happen to her. I don't want her to harm herself. I don't want anyone else to harm her. She needs to go get help because she is like this close to like breaking a bone every time she bumps her shoulder or something because of how much she's trying to like make herself super thin. And it's not great. And it's not a criticism of her appearance. That is a fact that she is unhealthy to the point that she is at risk of harming herself at all times. And it's also just like the way that she responded to those police officers was insanely dramatic. It was out of touch with reality. It was bizarre.
Behavioral. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, behavioral, yes, but there was a little bit of something else going on there. I really felt like that was like an actual delusional person that I was watching. And I firmly believe that everything that she has done has been within her, scope of responsibility to do better. So I believe that she's responsible for her actions. But at the same time, when I saw that, I thought this is the first time I ever thought this might be a psychotic person.
A manic, sort of histrionic.
Like this might be a fully
Response.
delusional person. Like
Mm.
she might actually believe what she's saying in this moment. I can't tell. And the only thing that would change my mind about that, I think, is people said that she was made aware that the police might come. And so if she was made aware that the police might come and she acted out like that because of that, then I would say that is on par with the calculated behavior I expect that we've seen in the past. And that is just something that she should continue to face consequences for. But that absolutely, if that was spontaneous, like true emotional reaction, true, like reading the paper and saying that what was on the paper was not on the paper, like that seems like a delusional person to me. So I'm very confused and disturbed by what we saw yesterday, to the point that I didn't want to go over any more of it today. I was just kind of like, I need to think about it. Like, this is
my
like
take on
good.
that, looking at the search warrant, was more a quick glance, and as soon as she saw something like her own name and not her mother's name, that became the argument that she would then pivot to, because it was a clear case of pivoting from argument to argument when the police would explain things to her.
I'm gonna sneeze, so I'm going off.
And she would just pivot to something else rather than face the reality of what the police officers are engaging in an actual conversation. She was more wanting to talk at the police officers, and what she was doing with the search warrant was really looking for something she could use to talk at them some more in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, I can see that. Sorry, I'm having like an allergy attack or something. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh my goodness. I was going to ask you something else about that. I was trying to remember what it was. But it's really about, when I think about if I was in a situation where there was, a search warrant or something, and later I had the opportunity to like watch these police body cam footage of myself in a situation, what would I think about that? So my thing I was thinking about today was, what does she think about how she behaved during this event? Now, obviously it's a stressful event, so you're not going to behave your best.
No. I don't think she's capable of
nobody's going to behave their best, but she was so extreme. How can you look at that and say, well, I'm perfectly fine. That was a reasonable way to react in this situation.
She would, though. This is the thing. Because she thinks she's better than everyone else and that she's the most important victim on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Cat Lady says, so here's something I want to mention. Cat Lady says, I don't think it's delusional. I think she's so ill from all the behavior issues and no one telling her no. She's just escalated to needing complete control and acting out when she doesn't have it. And that makes sense to me. And I feel like that's been my opinion most of the time. And that's why I feel like watching that and feeling like it was so disturbing is clouding my kind of opinion a little bit. I think that what she's saying right here, the cat lady's comment, I feel like it is kind of what I've been feeling the entire time about her, but I'm so like, I have a lot of in my brain recency bias too. It's just how my brain works. So like seeing that, I'm like clouded by those kind of reactions and images and whatever. So I got to take a couple days, come back to it, and then kind of form opinion from there. But I don't know. It just it threw me off. I guess it just threw me off. So yeah. All right. Anyways, where were we on this? We got through well, we don't really need to go through all of that.
I think it was the compounding.
I'm gonna read. Yeah, I'll read this part. I think. Hold on. Did we read this sentence already?
I don't think so.
In a clear attempt to silence and intimidate her, Laura, Mr. Marraccini's counsel, Mr. Serrato, responded by posting videos on YouTube threatening Miss Owens and her now former counsel with physical violence. Again, this is something that you would have addressed with the police beforehand in the year since it happened, if you really thought you were being threatened with physical violence. I know that Laura Owens, who treats the police like they're her personal private security, would have called the cops if she really believed that Omar Serrato was threatening her, because she called the cops on a girl here in Florida on Christmas, nonetheless, because she liked a TikTok and reposted it that Laura thought was negative about her.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot tell me that David Gingras actually believes that anyone was threatened with physical violence or that Laura felt that way, because it's inconsistent with her behavior, even with her extremely sensitive version of violence that she perceives and calls the cops about.
That's true. Didn't she call the police on the 3 men in the June 10th case on June 11th for simply standing there in a Instagram reel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not very violent.
No, not at all. And they were like very polite. I don't know if they even said her name. I don't think they did.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they like, they were like asking for prayers. Like, okay. But Liz Neptune, I haven't talked to Liz in a long bit now, but Liz Neptune was the one who got called, the police called on her here. So a sheriff out here in Florida had to go and talk to her or call her. I can't remember which because it's been so long, but had to contact Liz because Liz not even made a TikTok at that point. It was like reposted a TikTok about Laura, and Laura was like, she's harassing me.
Mm-hmm.
So during the holidays, she did that to harass someone with the police down here in Florida. And then she complained when somebody called a wellness check on her around the holidays the next year or like sometime around there for making suicidal threats. It was bizarre. So bizarre. So anyways, all that to say, I know that Laura Owens and David Gingras know how to call the police, and they decided not to because they knew that Omar Serrato was not threatening them then. They know that he's not threatening them now, and they have never made a complaint until it suited them in this stupid ass context. So I don't care. All right. Compounding that, compounding that misconduct, Mr. Serrato blatantly lied to this court about the status of undersigned counsel continuing to represent. Yeah, that's not what happened. Stop being such a sensitive little pussy and start reading the words on the page, David. He then put those lies into a pleading, which he knew would be transformed into multiple YouTube videos by his friends. That is entirely speculative.
Yeah.
First of all, resulting in Mr. Serrato's false attacks being placed on the internet permanently. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? Resulting in Mr. Serrato's false attacks being placed on the internet permanently. What are you talking about? What does that mean, Bruce?
I mean, I think his argument is Omar concocted some
now would
lie.
be a good time for one of these.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Just saying. When in doubt, you can just make a fart noise, man. You don't have to always be so on point with the logic. You can just say, oh, this doesn't make sense.
No, I mean, it makes sense. He's like, it's not a good...
It makes sense! Oh, God!
It's not a good
they
filing,
got to you.
But,
no, I'm just kidding.
But I internally understand it. He's saying if Omar had formulated this lie and put it in a filing, and Omar knows people like to cover the court case, then there's going to be a bunch of videos reading the filing with the bad information in it. But you have to actually prove that it's bad information. You know, I don't know, which he hasn't really done, because I think this whole thing is a miscommunication. Omar and Rachel are simply saying, we either need you to tell us that you're not representing her now, and you won't in the future, or we're going to do this motion to disqualify.
I agree, and I disagree.
And since he said, I'm not representing her anymore, that's not the same as I'm not going to represent her in the future as a guarantee. So they're just talking past each other. And Gingras thinks that this is like deception or something, but it's not. Yeah. It's just miscommunication. And he's blowing it way out of proportion.
I think that ultimately, in my opinion, no matter what he would have done or said, given the increasingly erratic and strange behavior that he was exhibiting directly to opposing counsel, I think it was appropriate for them to file no matter what. Because even you can see, even in David's declaration about his email, he was like, oh, somehow the email didn't send, that he's like not right. he's not right now. So like, even if he said, I will not represent Miss Owens, I would certainly think that it was appropriate at that point to try to disqualify
Even in the
him.
future, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, and I think it was Runkle who said, who cares if they file this motion to disqualify if you're not planning on being the person's lawyer? Like, so what? Like, just because it disqualifies you, you weren't going to do it anyway. Like, if they don't allow me on Space Mountain, but I wasn't going to go to Disney World anyway, who cares?
Me. Okay, so this conduct by Mr. Serrato should not make this court angry. It should make the court furious. Okay. This leads to the second apparent reason for Mr. Serrato's dishonesty. Although he is a licensed attorney, Mr. Serrato's primary focus appears to be making money from his YouTube channel, where he refers to himself as the Tilted Lawyer. David, you were eligible for monetization if you wanted it, so you know all about making YouTube. He got up to 1,000 followers at one point, so whatever. I mean, he wouldn't have made very much money. He finally would have learned that you actually don't make that much money off of YouTube unless you have a very large channel. So
this is more goofy speculation. He says his primary focus appears to be making money as opposed to his law practice. How does he know he makes more money from YouTube compared to his law practice? I would estimate that Omar probably makes way more money from his law practice.
There is no fucking way that
YouTube
he makes money. It's not close. I'll tell you that. There's no fucking way. Yeah.
And he's got it flipped around here. He's saying the primary focus is not his attorney job, it's the YouTube job. But where does he get that? There's no math behind it.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
It's speculation. And it's not even good speculation, because obviously a lawyer's hourly rate is going to earn way more money than YouTube unless you're Mr. Beast or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. All right, guys. Let's move on here. Let's see. As this court may or may not be aware, creating and posting content on YouTube can be extremely lucrative. Okay, why don't you talk about the average amount that you make, per 1,000 views or something from ad revenue? Why don't you talk about how many followers does Omar have? Because he's no Mr. Beast, as you said. Yeah. Why don't you put that in there? Because it's obviously not going to prove your point. But there is just one problem. Creating content is hard. David, no, it isn't. If people like you, if people think that you're honest with them, you're giving them your real feelings, as long as you tell the truth to your audience, as long as you're kind and you try to be a good person, even if you get a little heated sometimes, I know from experience, people will come back. People care what you have to say. They want to hear from you. They want to interact with you. It's not hard. As long as you're a decent human being. The reason you think it's hard is because you're a piece of shit. All right.
Yeah. The majority of videos I make aren't because I'm looking for something to do. It's because there's something I want to say about something.
Well, I thought it was because I asked you to get back on the content.
Well, maybe.
I was like, dude, where has Bruce been? It's been like a month.
I know. But yeah. And, if you have something you're passionate about, whether that's, van life or vegan cooking recipes or something like that, you will appear genuine when you make your videos, and you will be able to, reach other people and they will enjoy your videos. So I don't know, this thing about he has this very predatory description of what a YouTube content creator is like.
Yeah.
Like they're just sort of these weird madmen churning out stuff because they're chasing $1. It's not really like that.
Yeah. Karen Karsten says, I watch the Court of Random Opinion because I like the content. Well, you should subscribe to my OnlyFans. It's way, no, I'm just kidding. I don't have an OnlyFans. That's never going to happen. Oh, God. David is basically like a brain on a Roomba. Okay. Okay. All right.
I don't know what that means, but I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Creating content is hard. Not if you're not an OnlyFans, David. because it requires new material, often on a daily basis, leading to an insatiable desire for new content at any cost. Dude, people we like take days off at a time because we're like, well, we have nothing to talk about. Might as well go spend time with our families or do our real jobs and stuff like that. Like he's like highly overestimating the amount of time and obsession there is over like actually making content. It's just something that we do because we like it. I feel very passionate about the things that I talk about. I don't just talk about things to talk about things. I could find, celebrity rag drama anywhere if I wanted to talk about and make ad revenue whenever I wanted, but I don't do that. I talk about things that feel a little close to the chest, that feels like these are important issues that I feel like I want to talk about. In this case being like the heavy amount of emotional abuse by David Gingras's client, Laura Owens, and also the way that it affected Clayton, who is now my friend, who I care about and respect very much. It's obviously something that I care about very deeply. It feels, I wouldn't say personal, but I feel like it's like adjacent to personal, you know what I mean? So I would talk about it. I would sit here and talk about it and care about it no matter what, even if I didn't make any money. That's the truth. And I think people know that I may not always get things right, but I'm very stubborn and I'm very adamant about my principles and what I stand for and what I believe and how I will sit here and spend my time. I feel like that's an obvious thing. It's a no-brainer. So like most people who know me at all would agree with that. So I feel like this is just the stupidest thing in the world, because the only reason you would make this argument and really believe that it fully explains what it means to sit here and like talk about these things and to kind of put your real thought and heart into it and think about the kind of emotional implications that this has for people and how that affects you when you are somebody who relates to the kind of conflict or trauma that's being talked about. I feel like he underestimates a lot of that. And he thinks of people as just like trying to get cash and survive. I don't want to just survive. I want to talk about things and do things that I give a shit about.
Well, remember when all his Reddit comments were released? He had a comment in there.
Oh, how could I forget? That was beautiful.
He had that one, but he had a comment in there where he had basically just sort of said like, people are either like decent people like me, or they're like terrible, horrible people doing horrible things all the time because they're just, trying to do the simplest thing or trying to get all the money, or like he had this very binary, skewed view about life. And I think when I read this paragraph, it sounds like he's describing addiction. Like it's almost, what he's saying? It's like, you got to have something every day. It's an insatiable desire at any cost. It's like he's doing the cocaine and he's got some and he says, I don't want to have it all now. So I'm going to put some up above the fridge because it's hard to get to. But then at 3 a.m. it's gone and you're calling your dealer. That's what he's describing here. And he's projecting that idea onto these YouTube content creators like Omar. And it's really very strange and inappropriate.
Well, it does, in a way, it does kind of feel like, he's projecting stuff as far as that goes, as far as the addiction aspect goes, and the way that he's like so deep into like what sounds like symptoms or signs of addiction or the way that an addict would feel. It's like that absolutely strikes me as something that hits close to home. So there's a little bit of truth, I feel like, in everything, even with people like this who don't tell the truth, like there's a little bit of truth. It comes from a place of truth to like, that's what he understands. That's what he knows, in my opinion. Okay. That's that's really what I think. I think that he has some serious problems. And that doesn't make him an inherently bad person. The things that make him a bad person are his actions, his behavior. It's not his addiction per se. It's not the fact that he would be an addict. Because again, that's just speculation. It's my opinion, but like what he's doing and saying, there's a little bit of truth to it, but it's a projection and kind of, I agree with a lot of what you said. So yeah, it's just, Reg says, I miss playing games here. It was fun when we did that. We need to do that soon. Yeah. I've just been very chaotic. Let's put it that way. So, all right. What do we put out here? We got that. Okay, so here's where me and Bruce enter the picture, right?
Oh, geez.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
We're in the same hat. I don't know.
Seeking social media money and stardom. Mr. Serrato chose to file an utterly groundless, frivolous, and needless motion as a way of creating new YouTube content. What the fuck are you talking about? All right. Of course, posting a video about his motion on his own channel would be too sleazy, even for Mr. Serrato. David, you did that a lot of times.
That's crazy.
You did that a lot of times. What are you talking about?
Even before the Owens v. Eckerd case, Omar was very clear. He's like, we're going to talk about other court cases in the press, and we're going to talk about these Reddit posts. We're not going to talk about my cases that I'm working on now in my law firm, because that would be inappropriate. So what does Gingras do? He's like, I'm going to do PR. He starts making Twitter posts and blogs and YouTube videos about his active case. He's complaining about the exact thing he did. This is unbelievable.
I mean, he went above and beyond that too. Like releasing the transcript of Mike's full deposition, that wasn't part of his job description. Downplaying the abuse that Mike, Greg, and Clayton have suffered through, that wasn't part of his job description. You know, releasing
he's
photos.
Really injecting this. He's really injecting like a personal opinion when it suits, when it's congruent to his case, right? Or it's parallel.
Well, the thing is, I'll tell you this: when I heard those voicemails from Mike's mother to Laura that they published online for no reason whatsoever, except to retaliate against Mike for being a victim of hers, who was going to have to testify in this case per a valid subpoena. And there was a valid subpoena. The judge ruled on it. The judge said he's allowed to testify. He's allowed to be here. Okay. It was valid. So when they did that to retaliate against Mike for responding to that in the way that he should have, because no normal man would know what to do if they're like, you have a valid subpoena, you have to show up here, you have to testify in court. But then some crazy ass cracked out lawyer is saying, my client says, no, you can't do that or I'll have you arrested. Like, what are you supposed to do? You know, there was no reason to retaliate against him in that way. He was just trying to abide by the law. And even if David Gingras says the subpoena wasn't valid, that doesn't necessarily make it true. So Mike was just doing his thing, trying to abide by the law. And to punish him for that, David Gingras and Laura Owens released voicemails from his mother. They released his deposition. They released photos and recordings of him and Laura from their relationship during the time that Mike was suffering from abuse at the hands of Laura. And I 100% stand by that. Mike Marraccini was abused by Laura Owens. And I believe he was also abused by David Gingras. Okay. They responded to that in a way that was additionally abusive, that further perpetuated that abuse. And not just on him, but also to his family, who suffered through all that with him and now have to watch him deal with the consequences of that. His mother should never have been brought into this publicly. She's just doing her business as a mom. There was no reason to put her on blast like that with those voicemails, which honestly, to me, just showed a concerned mother who was trying to connect with her son's partner. And they had a relationship. Mike's mom and Laura had a relationship. And they decided to exploit that relationship and exploit Mike's mother's kindness in order to make Mike look bad for responding to a court-ordered subpoena.
Yeah, I mean, it's sleazy PR. And, you know, he only does it when it's, you know, amenable to his case, right? It's not like a generic thing or a general thing. It's because he's the litigant and doing PR at the same time, which I think was really not a good move. And of course, the PR itself was just as sleazy as he's trying to describe in this paragraph here. So again, it's more of a double standard or more projection.
I mean, personally, I think you should do PR for Blake. That's just me.
Oh,
you know?
No.
I think they're match made in heaven. Anyways, narcissists and narcissists, when they fight for each other. Okay. All right. Let's see.
He seems pretty busy here writing these things.
Yeah. Of course, posting a video about his motion on his own channel would have been too sleazy, blah, blah, blah. Filed his pleading and waited for his friends to make videos laughing about the scathing allegations contained in the motion. That plan worked exactly as Mr. Serrato intended. Shortly after the motion to disqualify was filed, Mr. Serrato's friends created multiple videos reciting every false statement in Mr. Serrato's motion. And one of the people listed in these thumbnails, at least one, maybe two, have never spoken to Omar Serrato.
Mm.
And I confirmed that today. They have never spoken to Omar Serrato. David Gingras lied to the court right there. These are not Mr. Serrato's friends. They are maybe people he's contacted adjacently. Maybe he's had adjacent relations to, because we're all in a kind of a community here. But Omar and I are friends. I can't deny that. But I've also been very, public about I'm not going to speak to him about his case. I'm not going to ask him questions about his case with Mike. I'm not going to kind of say any details about that or put out anything that doesn't come out publicly first. I'm not asking those questions. Like, I've been very straightforward about that, very pointed about that. It's not going to happen. I care more about my friend's well-being and his ability to do his job than I do about bothering him and trying to get details of this case that I shouldn't have. You know what I mean? Because I know he's a professional and he's not going to give me that information anyways.
I mean, since he stopped doing Family Law After Dark streams, which was probably the last time I hung out with him, I think I just sent him a happy birthday message, and that's it. Yeah. On his birthday. And the other problem here is it says they created multiple videos reciting every false statement in his motion. Well, actually, they're reading through all the motions. So, if somebody is reading through motions and trying to grok them and analyze them and commentate on them, if a lawyer has a motion with a misstatement or an error or bullshitting or even a lie or an opinion, someone reading through it will read all of it, not just, he has this very narrow definition of people reviewing the filings. He says it's reciting every false statement in his motion. Well, that's not really what people are doing. Yeah. They're actually reading through all the court documents and trying to make sense of it. Okay. Yeah.
David is well aware of that too, because he's watched my stuff before and he has tweeted about or at me during those streams. So he knows that I do that. He knows that I read every single one of his filings. I read his side of the story, as well as Greg Woodnick's or Omar Serrato's. And he just doesn't like that my opinion about his work is that it's fucking stupid. So that's how I feel about this. But Echoes from the Tabernacle, who joined us last night, says, thanks for advertising my non-monetized channel, David. So Echoes isn't even monetized. Echoes, will you please post a link to your channel, because you're a mod, you can post links in the chat. And guys, go subscribe to my friend here. And he, deserves all the praise in the world because he's an awesome guy. So that's just so fucking crazy to me, though, that he's like complaining about non-monetized channels here while he went on this whole crusade about how YouTube is just about scandal for monetization. It's just, he picked 2 channels who aren't eligible for ad revenue. 2 of them, right? And just the one where it's like you and me talking about Laura's, case, and that's part of Laura's case. So who gives a fuck, right? So it's just stupid as hell. And you can also tell, somebody pointed this out to me, and I know that, like, if you watch the whole video, it won't show the red bar. So I don't know if he watched my whole video or what, but you can see on Ducky's here, and you can see on Echoes here, he has been following along with this drama very closely because he's been watching it. You can see the progress. He's been watching the video. All right. So he can say he's not paying attention, but you can see it right there from David himself. He is, in fact, following along and watching the videos. So bullshit. Crazy. Let me just pin Echoes to the top there. Let me mod Loud Little Ducky so that she can also post her link there. Ducky, go ahead and post your link in the chats. I will add you as a moderator here.
And I mean, that's the point, right? Because if somebody, like, if one of these videos he has a link to here, or that he's posting in here, if somebody in one of these videos says something he disagrees with or thinks is wrong, the solution is to reply to it. Like, he could make his own video, he could have a comment, he could write a blog, he could say, hey, at this URL, at this timestamp, this Bruce the Moose guy said XYZ, and I think he's wrong, and here's why. Yeah. And if he did that, he might actually convince me. I said, maybe I was just like, oh, I said the wrong thing, or, oh, he's right. Or I might say, well, here's why I think he's wrong. These are just opinions, or we have different opinions, or it's, a different interpretation of law or something like that. But the solution to speech you don't like isn't to silence that speech. It is to provide more and better speech.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the First Amendment is all about. Maybe.
Julia Ann says, does he see us talking about eating macaroni crayons and feel left out?
Possibly.
Probably.
I mean, have you seen his shoes?
Yeah. The yellow ones? Yeah. King Salmon, thank you for the $2. I believe Laura was on a drug bender during raid. Man, she was, whoa. Like, the way her eyes were popping out of her skull and she looked insane. That was nuts. That was nuts. I've never seen anything like that. Okay. So he's talking about bringing a groundless motion based on knowingly false statements, which didn't happen, made solely for purposes of harassment and YouTube fame. This is his only trick. David is a one-trick pony. He tries to shame people for their exercising their free speech on a public platform.
Yeah.
As a First Amendment, supposed First Amendment enthusiast and internet lawyer, you would think that he would understand that. But no, he's actually that fucking dumb that his specialty that he lists on his website, he's actually fucking terrible at that. So, wow. Way to go, man. Okay. As a result, so he's talking about, he thinks Omar violated some code. As a result, this court should impose substantial financial sanctions to deter similar future conduct. This should include, at minimum, a financial penalty. And that's why I said earlier that he's that broke. A financial penalty payable to the clerk of court for Mr. Serrato's waste of this court's time and resources. You're not a party to this case or a lawyer in this case. Is that a joke?
Well, he's not asking for money for himself. He's asking to pay the court.
Dude.
So,
dude,
if the state of California has a budget deficit.
Well, listen to this. And an award of fees, costs, and expenses incurred in bringing this motion.
There you go.
Bruce, don't give him the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, boy.
You know this bitch is broke.
I guess he's trying to get his cut. He did have to sell his boat, which my theory is that...
He already sold his boat.
My theory is he had to sell his boat. My theory is he had to do that to hire his lawyer for his DUI case. That's my theory.
I can't imagine what it would feel like to be a person who finally makes it enough to where you can own a boat, even in Arizona of all places, and to have to sell it because you were so fucking stupid in your profession. God.
I don't know.
I do.
I mean, they do say the two best days of owning a boat are when you buy it and when you sell it. So I don't know.
I don't know. David said he was pretty upset when he had to sell it. So I'm assuming that was not a great day. I mean, that was probably one of his last tweets.
Terrible, no good, very bad day.
Yeah. All right. Still talking about sanctions that are stupid and irrelevant. Summary of facts. Mr. Serrato's misconduct aside, the facts of this case are simple. And this is just going over like the facts of the DVRO case and all that. So we don't need to read through that right now. Here he's talking about the call with Omar where they were going back and forth about whether or not he would represent Laura and he didn't want to. I no longer represent Laura in the Marraccini DVRO matter. Doesn't mean that he can't come back and do it later, which he probably would have. I think we all know that he probably would have gone back on his word there because that's what this man does. Goes back on his word. Or just lies outright. Okay.
Yeah, again, it's like, I'm no longer pregnant. That doesn't mean you can't be pregnant in the future.
Right. Yeah. Discussion, leave to intervene should be granted. Okay, to begin, despite having briefly appeared as Ms. Owens' counsel at a single short hearing, the undersigned is not a party to this matter, but he really wants to be. As a non-party, the undersigned arguably lacks standing to seek any relief from the court, including sanctions. We should probably stop there, bitch. All right, I know a little bit about being a non-party asking for sanctions. This is not going to work out for you. Okay, if A-list Hollywood celebrity struggled with me trying to do these same kinds of bullshits, then I think that you are going to have a problem. So, for that technical reason, I guess the roles were kind of reversed there, though, for the most part. I mean, she did ask for my fucking bank account info and the credit card stuff, so it wasn't that odd compared to this. It was odd. It wasn't that odd compared to this. For that technical reason, leave to intervene is sought pursuant to CCP 387 for the limited purpose of seeking sanctions against Mr. Serrato. Under that provision, the court may, upon timely application, permit a non-party to intervene in the action or proceeding if the person has an interest in the matter in litigation or in the success of either parties or an interest against both. So there have been, lots of motions to intervene in the case that I was dragged into, and this is not really going to work out for him. I'm sorry. I don't think it's going to work out for him. I don't feel like that's going to be a thing.
I think what you should do is make a new video about the Blake Lively case and call it Blake Wants All the Smoke.
And I'll put David's head on her body. Yeah.
Sure. Or her head on his body or something. I don't know.
MG Law, what's up? MG Law says, well, that's because he's a dumbass, just like his former client. We all know that she's still his only client. She's not paying him in money anyways. And that's all he's got. So, but yeah. Thanks, MG, for popping by. All right, let's see. Here to leave to intervene, request, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this request will not in any way expand or enlarge the other merit-based issues. Bitch. Okay. The request for sanctions is entirely unrelated to the merits of this proceeding, so leave. Whore. The sole question raised by this motion is whether Mr. Serrato engaged in misconduct sufficient to support an award of sanctions. Oh, no. So keep it moving. Keep it pushing. Bye-bye. Resolving that simple question will not affect any other aspect of the dispute between Ms. Owens and Mr. Marraccini. Okay, well, if you think that Mr. Serrato is actually threatening you with violence and saying that he would use a gun, why didn't you call the cops? Just saying, why did you file this motion? Why didn't you call the cops? Sometime in the last 12 months, why didn't you call the cops? Because you're a fucking pussy and you know you're lying. All right.
Or at least, complain about it at the time. I mean, that thumbnail is so old. And we haven't heard a peep about it until now.
Yeah.
Strange.
So none of this is really pertinent. It's all stuff we've heard from him before. He's lying, still lying to the court. I don't give a shit about this. Let's see. Safe harbor provision. I don't want to hear about the safe harbor provision because David didn't actually serve Omar with a safe harbor notice, which he was supposed to, but he didn't do. So David, the proponent of the safe harbor period, failed to do his duty and serving that on Omar. So he didn't. That's not Omar's problem. That's his. Okay. Let's see. Disciplinary referral to the state bar is appropriate. Like, fuck it is. In addition to imposing economic sanctions on Mr. Serrato, this court should go further. The court should also, The court should also make specific factual findings that Mr. Serrato has engaged in intentional dishonesty by filing a pleading which he knew contained false statements. The court should separately conclude that Mr. Serrato's bizarre and threatening online posts and attack against Ms. Owens constitute a separate basis for discipline. This guy is nuts. Like, look at the stuff that he's done and said, and he actually wants Omar to be disciplined. What do you think is going to happen to you if people start militantly disciplining people for stupid jokes and creative thumbnails? Mr. Serrato's actions in this case closely mirror those which resulted in a recent disbarment of a Florida lawyer who gives a fuck. Okay. Let's see. Based on that conduct, among other things, the Florida Supreme Court ordered the attorney disbarred. And that was something about the guy waving some kind of Tommy gun, right? Or a picture of a Tommy gun being fired by a movie character with the message, me, the next time I'm in front of the Liverpool backline, you guys suck. Omar's never done anything like that. He's never posted anything about him shooting a gun at David or anything of the sort. He has played into David's, concept of him being the Conor McGregor of litigation. He posted a thumbnail that shows them engaging in a sports match. Okay? So you can go fuck yourself. Here, especially, and this is where it gets so outrageous. Here, especially in light of recent events, such as the public execution of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk in Utah, threats of violence, even if made jokingly, are completely and totally unacceptable. Really, David? Charlie Kirk? Really? What do you have to do with Charlie Kirk? Regardless of how you feel about Charlie Kirk, you can think Charlie Kirk is great. You can think he's a piece of shit. But this is inappropriate. I think most people would agree with that.
It reminds me of like when Gingras first came on the case and he wanted more time to work on Laura's paternity case. And he writes this giant motion, and half the motion is talking about the Trump and Carol case with Donald Trump, right? And you're like, what does this have to do with anything?
Yeah.
He's doing it again.
Somebody just pointed out Omar just went on a stream denouncing political violence. I know, I was on it with him.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So Omar's a good guy. He's not doing this shit.
What does this have to do with anything?
Nothing, dude. It's just inflammatory, and it's meant to confuse and like provoke emotion in people. He thinks that if he does that, he can get the judge or whoever on his side. It's bullshit. God. Okay. Mr. Serrato's threats to bring the gun smoke. He never said, gun smoke. He said smoke. Made to both Miss Owens and the undersigned may appear funny to him, but they are absolutely no joking matter, especially when Mr. Serrato has not only extended threatening words, he's never done that. That is a blatant lie. You're lying to the court. He also took the time to create a childish image that shows him with bulging muscular arms holding the undersigned in a chokehold. Ha ha ha. Fuck you, David. Like, none of what he's saying is accurate depiction of what happened. He's highly exaggerating. This is super hyperbolic. It is dramatic. It is pathetic and totally inappropriate. He knows that that's not what this was, and that's why he continued to try to be friends with Omar even after they had their friendly little spats. Mr. Serrato's conduct...
This doesn't have anything to do with anything. The thumbnail is old. This Charlie Kirk thing just happened. They don't have anything to do with each other. Do you want the smoke? It's more like a rap battle. It's not even a thing. Also, if he thinks the thumbnail's childish, like, why does he care? Right. Like, then it's not serious if it's
11 months ago.
Right?
It says 11 months ago right there, dude.
Yeah,
Why does the Charlie Kirk political assassination have to do with Omar talking about the smoke a year ago? It fucking doesn't, dude. This guy's just an awful, terrible human being, and he will desperately claw at anything he can to hurt people because he can't handle his own shortcomings. He's a piece of shit. Mr. Serrato's conduct is not funny. It is illegal. Okay. It is unprofessional.
Oh, we're back to the illegal thing. It seems like Gingras thinks anybody that does anything he doesn't like is doing something illegal. That's like his go-to. I think we said that, what was it, last night or the night before? Like, Mata did this, it's illegal. Dave Neal did this, it's illegal. Omar did this, it's illegal. Everybody on earth is doing something you don't like is just illegal.
Right.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Pathetic. It is unprofessional and it is wholly inappropriate for any officer of this court under any circumstances. David, you do not want to go there. I have your videos archived. You do not want to go there. That is doubly true given the context of this case involving a domestic violence restraining order. Yeah, one that your client lied about and got on fraudulent grounds. Even worse, this appears to reflect a pattern of misconduct, as this is not the first time Mr. Serrato has been accused of lying to a court. Okay, so here's what he was responding to in his declaration last night was this part here. He's like, I don't know why he brought this up. I have never been found to have lied in any court proceeding. And the thing is, David should be very careful about how much weight he gives to unfounded and later disproven accusations. David, who allegedly, as an adult man, abused and took advantage of a teenage girl, should be very fucking careful how much weight he gives to allegations here if he wants to be the alleged child abuser and not the actual convicted rapist. Watch your back. Jesus. All right, man. I think that's all we got to go through. I mean, he wrote his whole blog, but it's not... It's not... There's nothing here that's really pertinent at all. He's just complaining about the whole thing that happened before the emergency hearing when he did not actually win anything. It's pathetic, and there's no reason to really go over it at this point. We've read all we needed to read. So, if, like I said, David needs to tread very carefully if he wants to raise this kind of behavior as a problem, especially accusations, because he has all kinds of problems by that standard that could be raised to get him in trouble. So I don't think that he really wants to push things the way that he's trying to push them right now. I think that would end very badly for David, especially in the public eye. If allegations are enough to convict a man in the public eye, David's fucked. So I don't think that David wants to bring up a weird, ridiculous allegation against Omar that was made not founded, and he was never found to have actually lied to any court. I don't think that he really wants to harp on that as much as he thinks that he does right now, because if he does, if allegations are what we take as fact, then David is fucked.
It's all pretty wild because this isn't really a DVRO case to try and make sure that there isn't a lifetime DVRO assigned against Mike Marraccini, right? And this simple matter of like who is Laura's lawyer in this case has become this giant sideshow. And I almost wonder if like that's part of the intention is he wants to create this sideshow because if he's not her lawyer, then maybe she needs time to get another lawyer or something, or to distract from the substantive issues in why this DVRO renewal is just really bogus, right?
Right.
And I think it's a huge distraction that doesn't need to be there at all.
Yeah.
Again,
well, when I was talking to Patrick earlier on the phone, he said, he thinks that this is all to drain Mike's fund. So, like he's just trying to cause problems, make it harder for him. So I don't know if that's true or not, but the thought obviously crosses my mind. So I do think that regardless, whatever he's doing is not because he actually believes he's in harm's way. It's not because he actually believes he's in danger. It's not because he believes Omar did anything wrong a year ago when he was still trying to be his friend. It's because he wants to hurt Mike. He wants to hurt Clayton or anyone else at this point who proved him wrong, basically, in the face of him vigorously defending his lying client because he refused to look at all the evidence. And he looks like a fucking dumbass. And it's embarrassing for him. And because he's so narcissistic, in my opinion, he cannot handle that confrontation with himself and say, damn, I got it wrong. No, it's got to lash out on everybody else. Everybody else has to be wrong. He has to be right. And it doesn't matter how much he has to hurt anyone else to get a means to an end. He doesn't care about doing the right thing. He's not a decent human being. He's a piece of shit. And he's going to do whatever it takes to fortify his idea that he's the smartest man in the world.
I think it's really more about that in terms of just protracting litigation for the sake of litigating and arguing, as opposed to driving up the costs as a strategy. I don't think their strategy is that sophisticated.
I would agree with you if he's been ghostwriting Laura's motions these whole times. I can't prove it, but we know he's been ghostwriting Laura's motions. So I would agree with you if the fundraiser and the funds hadn't been such a big issue raised by her in the prior filings. So I think that is where I'm kind of running into a hard point there, where I'm kind of like, well, it does kind of seem like you might be doing this just to fuck with the guy.
Maybe. So. I think that's what Laura's done in the past.
Yeah. I mean, she pulled up she pulled up our picture on her filing. Yeah. She pulled up a whole bunch of different, pictures of people doing the fundraising, or she had two different pictures of me fundraising for Mike or supporting Mike and saying, this, that, or the other. They're raising funds for him. Like that's something wrong to do. And I just really think that I can't ignore that she made such a big deal out of that, and that now he's trying to insert himself when he's decided not to be her lawyer anymore, when he could easily make this, a much simpler thing for himself by saying, I will not represent Laura now or in the future. The motion should be denied as moot. Yeah. So I don't know.
That would be a simple solution. Like
I'm considering that he is doing this just to burn funds. I would consider that. I think he's that bad of a person.
I don't know. I don't think he cares about that. I think Laura cares about that more. Because remember, she sent those emails like, I've got all this money and I can sue you forever. And
he's ghostwriting for Laura, though.
Yeah.
So what Laura wants, think about it.
I know, but they can be doing the same thing for different reasons.
I mean, David's doing it to help himself, he thinks. So
yeah,
whatever. I just think that he doesn't care that he's just helping Laura drain Mike's fund if that's what's happening. He doesn't care about that. So
exactly. That's why it's not the primary motivator for him. It's just like a bonus or something.
Yeah. So we'll have to figure out something soon, guys, to help with Mike's fund and all that. So, but I think that's all we got in us for tonight. I gotta finish a couple things before I go to bed in an hour. So, thanks everybody for watching. Bruce, any final thoughts?
No. Do I have final thoughts?
Yes.
I don't know. If you're gonna have ham water, make sure it's hot.
My ham water was room temperature. Oh God, Katie says finally made it here live, and then of course we're leaving now. Lauren, are we watching Showgirl? Oh man, I'm going tomorrow
rewind.
to watch the thing at the theater. So, I guess that's in an hour, isn't it? I'll have to put my alarm on. Yeah. Bruce, are you going to stay up to listen to Showgirl?
I don't know what that means.
It's a new Taylor Swift album, Life of a Showgirl.
Oh, I have to stay up late?
I assume that you would be staying up until midnight Eastern, yes.
Midnight Eastern? Oh,
Yeah.
that's
It's like an hour
here. That's it's pretty late. I don't know.
Well, I'll be up because I have to finish some work and then go to bed. But
what about Saturday morning? I can listen to it then, right?
I'll be texting you about it, so you better.
Very good.
You have until Saturday morning.
And I can put on my headphones and do some yard work and listen to Taylor Swift.
I expect photos.
Pop out. Do I have to wear an outfit? Isn't that what they do? Everybody.
I mean, sparkles would be preferred. I think. Yeah, if you could dress up like a showgirl, that'd be great.
I don't think a showgirl.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any sparkles.
You must have left him in the move.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get in touch. Don't worry, I'll be in touch.
I need new sparkles, guys.
All right, guys, send Bruce new sparkles.
Yeah.
See you later. Thanks, everyone. Bye.